This is lesson 1-2 for Kurzweil 3000, the web-based version, in which you will open a document and navigate pages. Okay, so first we're going to open up the web-based Kurzweil by going to Google Chrome, clicking twice on that. And then in the address bar here, I'm going to show you another way to access Kurzweil 3000 from what we did in lesson 1-1. That other way is to type in htcmpc.org, click enter. This will bring you to the website for the High-Tech Center at MPC. And on this website there's a lot of different resources. One of them is access to Kurzweil, the web-based version. Right here, Firefly by Kurzweil. If you click on this, that brings you straight to the home page of Kurzweil 3000. Now you have your login box here. It's always the same. The first initial of your first name, then your last name, and then MPC, and our shared password that we all have, MPC12345. Go ahead and log in by clicking on the login button. Okay, while we're on this first page here, I want to make you aware of the fact that this is the Universal Library. I didn't talk about that in lesson 1-1, but this is where all your textbooks are going to live. They're going to live in your folder right here at the top. I was the person that logged in right now, so my name's here, but it should be your name there. And if you click on this triangle right here, you'll see that you have 3 folders in there. Your textbooks will always live in your public folder, so that if you click once on that, this whole screen is populated with your books. We're not going to go in there right now, but I just want you to be aware of that that's where your textbooks are always going to live that have been scanned in to use with Kurzweil. So again, they're going to be in your folder, in a public folder that's in your folder, and they'll be shown here. I'm going to go ahead and close that up for now. Where we're all going to go today is the nonfiction book bag for this lesson. You're going to click on this little triangle here to expose the folders in there. Then you're going to click once on Grade 8 folder, and you'll see these other folders that appear on the right hand side screen. Today we're going to open up Earth's Fiery Fury.kes. And just to make a note here, you'll notice these little lines. These are just a way of giving a space between the words, because you can't just put a space. You have to have something there, so this just allows there to be space between the words, this little underscore. Okay, so if you click once on that particular article, it opens it up. Okay. Now before you do any reading, one other thing I didn't mention in the first lesson that I want you to be aware of is up here in the audio options box. We have this unit and mode here. This is your reading unit and your reading mode. These two areas work together that determine how much of a chunk Kurzweil will read before it automatically stops, and then you have to tell it to continue reading. I don't recommend that you put it on continuous, because what that means is that Kurzweil will continually read without pausing. And the danger with that is that you might be thinking about something else or not paying attention, and some minutes will pass by and then you'll realize that. So what I advise is to put it on self-paced and then choose a setting that you feel comfortable with. I have it on paragraph, so that every paragraph it's going to stop, and then I can ask myself if I was thinking about what I was reading, if I need to read it again before I go on, and if not, then I just click the arrow to continue reading. You can also set it to sentence so that it stops every sentence, or every line, or every word. For our purposes today, I want you to set it to paragraph and set it to self-paced Self-paced is what activates any of these choices. Whereas if you have it on continuous, that will be the default. So when you do the tutorial, please set it to self-paced and paragraph. Okay. So what you're going to do is go to page 17. The way to do that is to come down here in the lower left-hand corner and you just type 17 and then click on Go. And it hops over to that page. You're going to be reading the first 2 paragraphs of this page. You scroll down to expose both paragraphs. And then you're going to answer 3 questions. The way to read is by clicking on this arrow here. And while it's reading, it becomes your pause button. Let me show you how that works. Oops, it just read the word. Let's not highlight it. Let's just have our cursor there. Or let's put it here.
The biggest eruption in recorded history was at Mount Tambora.
Okay, so as you might have noticed, the read button becomes a pause button while it's reading. So that's how you control reading and pausing. The next, after you read those 2 paragraphs and answer your 3 questions, you're going to go to page 55. Same way, just type in 55 and click on Go. Okay, and then you're going to read this whole page, which isn't very long. It's just that top part with a little writing down there. And you'll answer 3 more questions. And then you're simply going to log out by coming to the upper right-hand corner and clicking on Log Out. And then you're going to close the window by clicking on the X. And you can close the website also by clicking on X.